Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy New with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time I'm gonna show you the Mirage mesmer, just because it seems to be pretty strong and it seems also to work a little bit against scourges, only if you are a good Mirage player. So, Mirage, you need the Path of Fire update. It is early in the morning, so I don't expect to have a great team here in the ranked arena game. To the build, I will talk about the build after the game as always, but I'm just gonna quickly show it to you here. The build is all about stacking confusion, trying to be annoying, and maybe normally it is said to be played with portal, but for the people who have problems with the portal, I will show the different variant, which can be here once decoy as a second stun break, or you can even go with daze your target to interrupt enemies from using healing skill, especially strong against scourges. So if they play with the healing skill to remove conditions, you can just interrupt them and your conditions will still tick. Or otherwise you can also just use here create a clone every few seconds, and you can then after that recharge all your your shatter skills with this skill. The other one was mantra, or the other mantra is here power cleanse, remove conditions from you and nearby allies, which is also pretty nice, can be also used really good. I would say mirror images could also be used nicely because it is a stun break and it summons 2 clones, which means you can shatter again. Otherwise, which one should you use from the deception skills? I don't know, I feel that they are not needed, but basically you can either play it like this, or as I just said with decoy, mirror images. Phantasmal Disenchanter could also be a good option to remove boons from enemies, but this is a hard one to play. And then the next, I don't know, I wanted to try out with a mantra, either power lock or power cleanse, so I depending on the enemies I will use one of these, or just show you here with a portal what you can do. For the mobility, you can at the beginning of the fight dodge, sword, dodge again, sword, staff, and just get a huge mobility advantage over the enemies. And then also when you dodge twice, you can also use your healing skill in combination with this build. You will get an additional dodge, and you are just able to dodge here again, dodge one more time, and you are already on the enemy point. I haven't recorded for a while now in the morning so hopefully we will have at least, I will say, some decent teams or equal teams. Not decent, I don't need decent teams, but I want equal teams. And yes, no Skyhammer, which is perfect for me because I don't like Skyhammer at all. I just have a weird bug when I play this. Okay, I knew this team will be really full of randoms. Double Scourge, this is interesting. Now I don't know, I want to play with something else instead of Portal. But Portal is still so good. I want to use null field because it is really nice. Boons remove, conditions remove from ourselves. It has short cooldown. Or this one here is also nice. Gain quickness, unblockable, transfer conditions, and steal their boons could be also pretty nice. Now against those two guys, I don't know. If I go with mantra to remove conditions, or let's just try out null field. I don't know. I'm so afraid. 5 seconds, or let's go with the mantra. I don't know.
The match starts soon.
Maybe I should have gone for the mantra, but let's go with Phantasmal Disenchanter because I want to wreck those scourges hardcore. So I start with the staff.
Hold on to your
to get
point.
this here.
Seize theirs.
I just dodged this guy's first attack. Okay, they have a... So I don't need to fight the mesmer there. Holy yeah. My team has the first down, which is pretty nice.
You've taken the mine.
I remove his boons. We just destroyed this guy. I can try to get the decap here,
The keep is yours.
even though this will be risky.
Svanier's return.
I need to be careful because of the enemy thief. So my ally here wants to go for the beast, so I need to be careful because of this thief. He should die. He should die. Pretty nice. So let's go to the next guy here. I interrupt him. Give distortion to this guy. Shatter. He's dead again.
They took the hand.
We interrupt this guy so he won't be able to revive. Remove his boons. Run away. Okay, so you can see the build is still pretty solid, but my allied friends are dying on middle. I don't know why. We interrupt him. Auto attack there. This guy wants to know it.
Svanier's return.
I'm just gonna quickly destroy his stupid.
The chieftain has returned. keep is yours.
Can I get an extra dodge? Holy man.
You've taken the mine. They took the henge.
Oh man, I'm removing all conditions, only the one that I need now. Come on. I let you stomp me because I need to get revived. Ah. You see, that's what I was meaning. If I have to fight scourges, it will be pretty important to have the condi removal, but I was not able to get it. Okay. But now you can see my team is winning this, which is pretty nice. I don't know if he's able to go there. The enemy team seems to just stop playing, I guess. I try to stealth here. Do this. We get the decap. Easy mode. But basically you just saw I was able to destroy almost everything, even this guy here. So this game, I mean the enemies are not so strong, but my team had always the upper hand, which was nice. And I would like to have all my games like this, but I had so many bad games. If you watch my streams. And by the way guys, just yeah, follow me on Twitch if you want to see me live. I don't know, I haven't said that. I don't know, there's also here's a jump bug where you can use and jump up there. I'm afraid if I leave now this point that my team gets snowballed, but my team already won this game, so it's okay. I will show you the combos on the golems now. There was a jump bug here which a warrior was abusing, but I don't know how he did that. He just walked up here or jumped up here, I don't know.
Your team is victorious.
My thief is playing Deadeye with condi. Awesome. What did I get? I got top set offense. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Basically top set offense, so which means earned by making capture progress or by being in combat near a neutral or enemy capture point, which means I was always on a point fighting against the enemies. That was also my main goal. So I updated to a new Windows and the game just minimizes and goes up again every now and then. So to show you here the combos that you can use. My Phantasmal Disenchanter was there to fight against the Firebrand and against the enemy mesmer to remove his boons. You can see it here, it is unblockable, but it has a 1 second cooldown, so you have to use it wisely. But otherwise, I'm also not such a big fan of Portal, because if you have not a decent team that knows how to use the Portal, it is just a waste a little bit. If you understand what I mean, I used my Portal in a couple of games. Not a single one of my allied friends took it. I was 1v2ing far. I ported up on mid. There was also 2 enemies. My allied friends not rotating, nothing, and yeah, it is just sometimes it feels useless if you have Portal. I mean, it is good for your own survivability, but with this build and with nice usage of blink, you don't really need it. But if you are duo queuing with a friend, it is a must-have, I would say, Portal, but otherwise you don't really have to use it. Then you can also use Decoy if you have a lot of DPS enemies, but otherwise you don't really need it so much, because on every dodge you can stun break. What you need is Condition Cleanse, which I mentioned earlier. You can use either Power Cleanse, or even if you want to be more annoying, Power Lock to interrupt enemies. It has a short cooldown. When you use it once, it will recharge for 12 seconds again, or you will have a second use, and if you use the second time you will have the 15 seconds cooldown, and you will get both skills up again. So Phantasmal Disenchanter is only there to have if you have, let's say, a Hollow Smith, and he will apply his tons of boons on him and you can just remove them easily with that. Otherwise, as I mentioned, Arcane Thievery, which is a 20 seconds short cooldown, I will say. Skill, manipulation, send conditions you have to your foe and steal their boons, successfully hitting your target, inflict slow on them. And this skill is also unblockable. It was not unblockable back then, but now it is. This is a nice stomp break, and yeah, those two mantras. Condition remove all null field to remove boons. Especially good against scourges or in team fights, pretty strong. Removing boons, removing conditions from your allied friends. So just to show it to you here, power lock, what you can do with this. If I can use it on this guy, we attack. Now I just missed my interrupt. This was bad. Holy man, my interrupts is not working onto this guy. Oh, I'm using the wrong one, or no, I'm using the right one. Now for stomping you can use the Prestige Torch 4 to stomp enemies, well, because you will get the 3 seconds stealth, plus you will blind enemies, which is pretty nice, so you will be safe twice. And now you can see it here, you can just auto attack and then jump away if you remove your target, which could be pretty nice once you use it. Now I stun, and you can see it here, the day symbol is there. Now what you can do here to also save stomp against multiple enemies, you can do this distortion, blink to the enemy. This is like the heaviest thing that you can do, but you don't really have to necessarily do that. All these things. Jump onto this guy, dodge again. He's dead. And GG. Okay, I will show you better the combos on a golem, because that was just some basic gameplay here. At the beginning, let's say you are playing with no field. At the beginning you can always start with Chaos Storm because it is pretty strong and you can use it from the distance. Then you can either dodge into the enemy, especially good against enemy scourges. You can just dodge and immediately auto attack, apply the two conditions, Chaos Storm, dodge again, Chaos Storm with phase retreat to get the Chaos armor, and then you can just repeat this. You can repeat it, plus of course you can use Phantasmal Warlock to get those additional clones, and then you can just repeat F1, shatter, F2, and later F3. F3 is that shatter that needs to be used wisely because it is a nice little stun break. And you can see it here. I haven't even used my elite, just because I want to show you quickly here what you can do with the other skills. And you can see it here. The null field is like Chaos Storm. It will just be there and not interrupt the enemy, but corrupt his boons, which is pretty nice. So quickly showing to you here, as you can see we are getting almost all conditions. Only chill, we are not able to chill the enemy, but we got all the other conditions. So phase retreat in combination with Chaos Storm gives you Chaos armor, plus you can also use phase retreat only to dodge, which is also a nice little thing to know. Because look at this, if this guy will now attack me, a warrior or something like that, I can just use it and run away, dodge again, and repeat. Repeat. For the combos that you can use, one of them is like this. I need to stop for a second, but you can see we are able to stack up to 12 quickness without even using the elite skill. Now the elite skill comes in now when I show it to you here. I don't know, I haven't used my elite skill that much, but I did not feel it was so necessary, because the elite skill jaunt can also just be used to retreat from battles, because it will remove conditions and it is a nice combo finisher. Leap, which you can do into a water fields and stuff like that. Plus it is just nice to run out of combat. So as I just mentioned, the combos that you can use: do this, dodge onto the enemy, auto attack, dodge one more time, shatter here, auto attack, shatter again, use your elite skill, and then when you have 2 clones, you can just interrupt the enemy if he maybe tries to attack you there, auto attack, use your elite skill again, dodge there, and you can see the combos are pretty strong. Now we have here the Mirage cloak, which we can use, and we get an additional Mirage attack here, ambush attack, it is not called Mirage. Auto attack, boom, interrupt, get the burning onto this guy, and you can see it here, 17 stacks of confusion, which is pretty strong and pretty deadly, and you can do that more than once, which is the key to success to this build. Now this build is not only strong because of the ambush attacks, but because of all conditions. All conditions will deal heavy damage to the target. And now to see also the mobility, I want to get to this guy. Now you can see it here, what you can do. At the beginning of the fight, if you, let's say this is the midpoint and we start here, we can do staff 2, dodge, do this, dodge one more time, do this, use the healing skill, we have an extra dodge, do this, and we are already here without using blink. Now I like also to use blink at the beginning of the fight just because it is nice to use, and then just watch back and use phase retreat to have additional movement. What else can I say? To the utility skills, I just talked about them. Signet of Midnight is nice to have because it improves your condition duration by 20%. It will blind nearby foes and stealth yourself, which is good if you are also in a difficult situation or you just want to stomp a single guy. It can be used like that, but otherwise most of the times you will use distortion to save stomp. And by the way, also you can use phase retreat while stomping, and then you can just also again port to the jaunt with your elite skill and save stomp also like that if you are in a difficult situation. So here we go with another combo that you can do by just dodging, attacking this guy, dodge one more time, attack, stealth yourself, auto attack here, and you can see it here, auto attack, this guy's already dead without losing any HP. So beasts are pretty easily killed by this build, and you can do them if you have free time. I haven't done that in the video, but I was more focused on fighting the enemies. And against scourges you are still not countering them because you have less condition cleanses, which means you have only condition cleanse when dodging and when your elite skill is used. Otherwise you don't have them. So I recommend, if you have more than one scourge on the enemy team or even a reaper, they also deal heavy condition damage, just use this one here. It will remove 3 conditions when you cast it, or it was 2. Charging a spell that will cure conditions for you and nearby allies, cure conditions on yourself when this skill is fully charged. I don't know now if the skill removes now only the 3 or conditions removed 13. I don't really know. Normally you can see it here, when we use it now, remove 3 conditions and remove another 3 conditions from us and nearby allies. Now our allies need to be close, but you can still use it. This is also especially effective if you are reviving someone and the enemies are just condi bombing your ally down friend. So you can just distort and remove condition while reviving your ally, which is pretty strong, and a lot of people just don't see this aspect of this game because removing conditions from down will benefit so much for you and your allied friends, but most people just don't know that. For the build I'm using Sigil of Revocation and Sigil of Energy, Sigil of Doom and Sigil of Energy. Basically you can also go double Doom and double Energy or anything else, but I was just thinking with the sword I can auto attack, or when I use Blurred Frenzy I might remove a boon like stability or protection or anything like that. Just could be nice, I thought that. Rune of Adventure, pretty strong with the Mirage because you will get an additional dodge, which means additional condition remove, and additional stomp break, which is pretty nice. Then for the build, dueling illusions and Mirage. Desperate decoy. Every 40 seconds, if our HP goes under 50%, we will get this decoy, which is nothing else than this utility skill here, clone decoy, which means we will get stealthed and we create a clone who attacks our enemy. This is just the best because the other two don't work so well. Then we have here blinding dissipation. Blind foes around you whenever you use a shatter skill. This is also pretty nice to know. You can just blind with every shatter. So if you are stomping an enemy, you can just throw a shatter, but you need to have a clone. This is important to know. Then we have here ineptitude, I don't know how to say it right. Interrupting a foe inflicts blind, and blinding a foe inflicts confusion. Now this is here the second point where the other mantra comes in, which I mentioned. Daze your target. You can use it also twice. You will daze twice the enemy with a, I don't know, 4 seconds cooldown or 12 seconds. If you use it once, it has a 4 seconds cooldown. Yeah, if you use it once, it has a 4 seconds cooldown and a 50 seconds recharge or 12 seconds recharge. You can see it here. Okay, so this mantra is especially nice because you can not just interrupt the healing skill, but when you interrupt the enemy, you will apply blindness for 6 seconds plus additional confusion. And this cannot just be one stun, but it has an interval of 3 seconds, which means you can stun here, wait 3 seconds, stun again, and if you have a few clones, you can daze the enemy again with your shatter diversion, and then just destroy enemies who have no stability. But therefore you need the stability removal, so you need to wait. If the enemy has stability, it will not affect anything. Also, it works nice with Chaos Storm because Chaos Storm will daze the enemy, and in combination with that, get the blind onto the enemy and confusion, which is also pretty strong. These are the stuns that you can use, 1, 2, and if you use the mantra, you have a third stun here, which is also pretty strong. For illusions, I use the pledge, reduce recharge on torch skill, flame burst from torch skills inflict additional burning, which means if we apply 1 stack of burning, it will just get an additional burning. So the prestige, for example, does stealth yourself, blind the enemy. The blind comes in when you stealth, so if you use it, you will blind the enemy and stealth yourself, which means the enemy will miss an attack, and you are stealth, you can just run away. Especially strong in combination with the dodge, and then just while you are stealth, jump away and get out of the combat, which is pretty strong. Plus keep in mind it will remove 1 condition, so you can also use it against scourges, pretty good. Then we have Phantasmal Mage. It will apply twice 3 stacks of burning, which is pretty strong, and additional confusing, plus it will daze the enemy. I forgot about that, but the daze, I don't know, most of the times in my opinion it was not working that good. Now we need to watch. Yeah, it dazed now. Okay, I just was thinking I had a problem with this 5th skill because I had this feeling it was never dazing, but it seems to be dazing the enemy, which is good. So you have here 1 daze, 2 dazes, 3, 4, and which one was it? Chaos Storm. Yes. So you can have a lot of that, and if you played with this, you can just be pretty annoying. I saw a few Mirage using this, but not so many. But believe it or not, if you have enemies, no matter which enemy, if you have a good Scourge who corrupts the enemy's boons, you can just interrupt whenever you want the enemy, especially strong when they revive, when they use their healing skill, elite skill and stuff. You can just interrupt, apply blindness, confusion, their next attack will be also a miss, plus they will deal themselves damage if they use skills, so it is pretty strong. The next is shatter skills inflict torment on hit, which means we will have 1-2 shatters at least, and maximum of 3, which can stack up to 3 times torment every time we shatter, which is nice to have. It has a long cooldown. It deals really painful, especially against enemies who are chasing you. Then Master of Fragmentation. Your shatter skills are improved. Mind Crack deals increased critical hit. Has an increased critical hit chance by 25%, which is not so needed. Cry of Frustration cripples foes on hit, which is pretty nice, especially if they chase you, they will get crippled. The third skill strikes up to 5 targets within the range, which means if you are using diversion on a downed enemy and someone is trying to revive, they will also get dazed if they don't have stability, which is pretty strong. Distortion will get you additional projectile reflection when you use it. You can see it here, you get this crystal around you, but of course it is recommended to use distortion at least if you have 2 clones. If you have less than 2 clones, it will not be so useful because the duration of distortion will be not so long. For each shatter you will have only 1 second, so you will need at least 2 seconds. The best is of course 3 clones, 3 seconds of distortion, which is pretty good. Keep also in mind, distortion will also apply all those conditions. This is also something that a lot of people just don't know, but use it when you stomp, no matter if only one guy is reviving, but use it to apply damage. So maybe he will get the revive, but due to distortion he will get conditions onto the down, and you will be able to stomp and the enemy will not be able to revive. Then you need of course Path of Fire, as I mentioned that. Mirage. Riddle of Sand. When entering combat, your first ambush attack applies confusion. This ability refreshes when you use a shatter skill. This is also something that you need to know. When we ambush here like this, we apply on the first attack confusion. Now we shatter. Now we dodge again, and you can see it here, it will just repeat. Stun this guy. Every time we shatter, our next attack, ambush attack, will get recharged and we get this Riddle of the Sand, which a lot of people don't know. You can see it here. Riddle of the Sand will apply inflict confusion. Now I don't know, does it work with normal attacks? No, it works only with when you dodge. We dodge, shatter here again, dodge again. Now Riddle of the Sand procs again, and this is just something that a lot of people also don't know, and why I also tried to use my shatters a few times more often. Keep that in mind. If you want additional confusion stack, you have to shatter. But it is also not recommended just shatter F1, F2, F3, F4 immediately. It is recommended to use most likely shatter 1 because it has a short cooldown and you can use it more often. Shatter skills give you vigor, and vigor grants condition damage, which is additional bonus, which also most people don't know if you have vigor. This is also nice if an ally gives you vigor. Then we have Distortion. Illusion shattered by distortion become Mirage mirrors. Ambush skills become available for a short time whenever you grant distortion to yourself. Which means when we use distortion, just quickly showing here. I need a few more clones. We give distortion, and now you can see it here. We get a Mirage. What's this name? I don't know what the name of those things was. Mirage mirrors, yeah. I wanted to say mirror, but I was like, was it mirror? No, it was not. But it was Mirage mirrors, which means if you do, it should be like this. If you shatter with distortion with 3 clones, you will get 3 times Mirage mirror. I'm just failing this so much. It will give you 1 second evade. It will deal damage onto enemies if they walk into them, and it will weaken them, which is pretty strong. The last thing is here, Elusive Mind. Dodging breaks stun and removes conditions. If you break a stun in this manner, you will be left exhausted, which means the endurance regeneration will be 0, which means you will get during that 0 endurance back. But you don't really need that with this build. Okay, I just jumped down. Okay, I want to get out of the combat. So I guess I just told you everything now about this build. you can use dodges whenever you want. You don't have to use them. So if you know you have 3 enemies and all 3 of them are just stunning you, and you have only 1 dodge, wait, let them stun you, and then just use stun, sword out of it, or even face retreat out of it, and save yourself. So for the skills, utility skills, I recommend a must-have is Blink, and the skill also Signet of Midnight, because it is pretty strong. It is a nice stun break. It will give you the 20% longer condition duration, and it is unblockable, which means if you use it against an enemy while you are stomping, no matter if they have Aegis or something like that, you will blind them, which is pretty cool. The elite skill Jaunt, you can see it here. Let's say we start here with face retreat, dodge, do this, Jaunt, dodge one more time, do this, Jaunt here, dodge, do this, dodge a second time, do this, blink, face retreat, Jaunt. You can see if an enemy or multiple enemies are chasing you, you are able to just get out of it. No matter what will happen, you will be able to just get out of it. Especially at the last seconds, if you are pretty low, either use torch, the prestige, or if you can't even use that, you can just also go with Signet of Midnight, stealth a second time, and maybe also if you have a target, blind the guy who's chasing you. So mantra of distraction only for advanced players. I recommend more to use for condition cleanse, power cleanse, or as I just said, null fields. Otherwise arcane thievery, which is pretty strong, boon stealing, which you can steal boons from firebrands or scourges. Especially good if the scourge has used his utility skill to get the stability. You can just steal that, get yourself stability, and then just transfer your conditions to him. Plus you will slow and get additional quickness for yourself. Pretty strong. But I would recommend to use mantras first, because mantras are easier to use and are the lifesavers there. And basically that was it. Or let's say Blurred Frenzy is also nice to know. It evades all attacks for 2.5 seconds. This, you need to know that, because it is people with unblockable attacks won't hit you while using this. Keep that in mind. Of course, a Dragon Hunter who has spear on you, normally if you don't have stability, I guess they should be able to pull you, but I don't know if it was only a bug or something like that. Illusionary Leap to immobilize enemies, or just if you are getting chased, you can use it behind you. Let's show it here how you can use it. We attack this guy, we dodge, and now you can see it here. I'm using it behind me. Do this, here we go. I used the prestige, safe stomp, easy mode, get out of the combat, multiple enemies there. I just leave, do this, troll around, and repeat those things. The healing skill, it is also nice to know. You can just sometimes, as I used it at the beginning of the fight, and then you can walk into the Mirage. How was the name now? Mirage mirror, yeah. I want to say mirror, but then I say Mirage. It was something with Mirage and I just fail it. You can walk into the Mirage mirror and get an additional ambush attack, plus it will give you Mirage Cloak, you evade damage, which is pretty nice, and most people need to recognize that. Plus you get the Vigor, additional condition damage, and of course endurance regeneration, which is pretty nice. Now that was basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. The PvP match was not so long, but never mind, I will say. And now you can see as always 3 of my other videos, which you can watch or not, only if you like to. And you can also subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see me live, guys, I just say it again, follow me on Twitch. The link is in the video description. You can see me there live almost daily. I will try to play daily, and you can see me there. Now thanks to all for watching, and I see you in my next videos. That was Happy No. Bye bye, guys.